I remember a meeting that changed everything. A colleague criticized my work in front of everyone. My face burned, my heart raced, and before I knew it, I was defending myself with words I later deeply regretted. The room went silent. The tension was palpable. And in that moment, I realized something painful. I had let my emotions hijack my communication. If you have ever been in a difficult conversation and said something you wish you could take back, you understand this feeling. Conflict is inevitable, but suffering in communication is optional. Today, we explore the ancient Buddhist wisdom of mindful communication, not as a way to avoid conflict, but as a way to transform it into understanding. Let's begin by understanding why communication so often breaks down. When we feel threatened, criticized, or misunderstood, our nervous system activates what scientists call the fight or flight response. In this state, our prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and empathy, essentially goes offline. We become reactive rather than responsive. We speak from fear rather than wisdom. We listen to defend rather than understand. The Buddha recognized this pattern 25 centuries ago, and he offered profound teaching called right speech, or samma, vaca in Pali. Right speech is one of the Eightfold Path, the Buddhist framework for ethical and wise living. But it is not simply about being polite or avoiding harsh words. Right speech is a complete practice of mindful communication that transforms how we relate to others. The Buddha taught 4 guidelines for right speech. First, speak only what is true. This does not mean brutal honesty without tact. It means being authentic while being kind. For example, if a colleague asks for feedback on their presentation, instead of saying it was terrible, you might say, "I noticed some sections could be clearer, and I'd be happy to help you refine them." This is truthful and kind. Second, speak only what is beneficial. Before speaking, we ask ourselves, will these words help? Will they heal? Will they create understanding? In a team meeting, instead of pointing out why someone's idea won't work, you might say, "I see potential in this approach, and I wonder if we could also consider this is beneficial because it builds rather than destroys." Third, speak at the right time. Even true and beneficial words can cause harm if delivered at the wrong moment. Timing is everything in communication. If your partner is stressed after a long day, this is not the time to bring up a relationship concern. Wait for a calm moment when you can both be present. Fourth, speak with a mind of goodwill. This is perhaps the most important guideline. The intention behind our words matters more than the words themselves. When we speak from a place of genuine care, even difficult conversations can become opportunities for connection. But right speech is only half of the equation. The other half is what the Buddha called right listening or deep listening. Most of us do not truly listen. We listen to respond. We listen to find flaws in the other person's argument. We listen to prepare our counterattack. Deep listening or compassionate listening is radically different. It means listening with the sole intention of understanding the other person's experience, not to agree or disagree, not to fix or solve, just to understand. When someone speaks to us from pain or frustration, they are often not looking for solutions. They are looking to be heard, to be seen, to be understood. And when we offer them that gift of deep listening, something remarkable happens. The tension begins to dissolve. The defensiveness softens. Connection becomes possible. The Zen master Thich Nhat offered a beautiful practice for difficult conversations. He said, when someone makes us suffer, we should try to understand why. When we understand, we cannot help but feel compassion. Thich Nhat taught that when his students had conflicts, he would ask them to write down not just their own suffering, but the suffering of the other person. This practice of seeing both sides opens the heart. This is not about excusing harmful behavior. It is about recognizing that people who hurt others are often suffering themselves. Their harsh words are often a reflection of their own pain, fear, or insecurity. When we can see this, our response shifts from reactivity to compassion. We can set boundaries without creating enemies. We can speak truth without causing unnecessary harm. Here are 3 practical ways to bring mindful communication into conflict. The first practice is called the pause before speaking. When you feel triggered in a conversation, before you respond, take one conscious breath. In that brief pause, ask yourself 3 questions. Is what I am about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer to any of these is no, consider whether there is a better way to express your truth. This pause creates space between stimulus and response. It allows wisdom to enter the conversation. Try this now. Think of a recent difficult conversation. Imagine pausing for just one breath before responding. Notice how it might have changed the outcome. The second practice is called reflective listening. When someone is speaking to you, especially in conflict, try this. After they finish speaking, reflect back what you heard. You might say, what I hear you saying is, or it sounds like you are feeling. This does 2 things. First, it ensures you actually understood them. Second, it shows them that you are truly listening. Often, this simple act of reflection is all that is needed to de-escalate tension. Let us practice this together. Imagine your partner says, "You never listen to me." Instead of defending yourself, you reflect. What I hear you saying is that you feel unheard, and that's painful for you. Notice how this shifts the energy. The third practice is called speaking from I rather than you. Instead of saying, "You always do this," or "You made me feel angry," try saying, "I feel frustrated when this happens," or I need support in this situation. This shifts the conversation from accusation to sharing, from blame to vulnerability. When we speak from our own experience rather than attacking the other person, we create safety for dialogue. For example, instead of, "You never help with the housework," try, "I feel overwhelmed when I'm managing everything alone. I need some support." This invites collaboration rather than defensiveness. Remember, mindful communication is not about being perfect. It is about being present. There will be times when we slip back into old patterns, when we react instead of respond, when we speak from fear instead of love. That is human. That is okay. The practice is to notice, to forgive ourselves, and to begin again. Each conversation is a new opportunity. Each moment is a chance to choose wisdom over reactivity. If these reflections offer you a different perspective on conflict, you might save this teaching to return to before a difficult conversation. Or share it gently with someone who might also benefit from these tools. Or simply take one conscious breath right now and set an intention for your next conversation. And remember, the goal is not to avoid conflict. The goal is to transform conflict into connection. Thank you for spending this time exploring the art of mindful communication. May your words be true, beneficial, and kind. May your listening be deep and compassionate. May your conversations become opportunities for understanding and healing. Until we meet again in the next sharing, may you speak with wisdom and listen with an open heart.